If you grew up in the 1970s, you didn't just live through a different time, you lived through a different world. A world where childhood wasn't measured in likes, followers, or screen time, but in scraped knees, loud laughter, and the smell of sun-heated asphalt. And that world shaped you in ways most people today can't even imagine. Let's dive into the rare traits you carry, traits that were forged long before technology took over everything. You learned independence early, really early. In the 70s, kids had freedom that feels almost unbelievable today. Parents didn't hover, they trusted. You'd leave the house in the morning with a bike, a few coins, and one instruction. Be home before dark. No phones, no GPS, no tracker apps, just instinct, memory, and confidence. Psychology behind it. Kids who navigate without constant supervision build something called autonomous competence, a type of self-belief that comes from doing things alone. That's why 70s kids became adults who don't panic when plans fall apart. You've been improvising since age 8. You know how to entertain yourself without a screen. The 70s forced you to be creative. If you were bored, you didn't scroll. You invented something. Games, stories, imaginary worlds. Even a stick could turn into a sword, a wand, or a microphone. Saturday mornings meant cartoons. Not 24/7 on-demand streaming, but a sacred window you waited all week for. And music? You'd sit by the radio for hours, finger ready to hit record, hoping the DJ wouldn't talk over the intro. This taught you patience, creativity, appreciation, focus, imagination. Psychologists call this deep play, and it's rare in younger generations. You built emotional toughness. The 70s weren't sugar-coated. Kids teased each other. You fell off your bike. You argued with friends. You got disappointed and dealt with it without a motivational quote popping up on your screen. You didn't have gentle parenting. You had figure it out. And you did. You learned how to handle rejection, how to bounce back, how to keep going even when things sucked. Not because life was easier, but because people didn't step in every time you felt uncomfortable. Psychology note. This built emotional resilience, a trait that protects you from anxiety even today. You respect what you have. In the 70s, you didn't get a new bike every year. You fixed the one you had. If the chain popped off, you turned the bike over and solved it. If a toy broke, you tried to repair it with tape or glue. Clothes were patched. Shoes were worn until the soles thinned out. You weren't minimalist. You were practical. This created adults who value durability over trends, and who don't crumble when life isn't perfect. You grew up with real human connection. People talked back then. Not texted, not liked, not commented. They talked. Families had dinner together, at the table. Neighbors knew each other by name. Kids played outside in groups, forming bonds built on experience, not Wi-Fi. If you liked someone, you actually had to call their house and pray their dad didn't pick up. This built social confidence that's disappearing today. Studies show 70s kids develop stronger face-to-face communication skills, eye contact, and empathy. You grew up with simplicity, and you still crave it. Life felt slower, more peaceful, more human. A sunny afternoon, a cold drink, a walk with a friend. These things were enough. Happiness had nothing to do with algorithm recommendations. You learned to enjoy the little moments because they were your entertainment. That's why so many people from that era feel grounded today. You were trained to appreciate life as it is, not as a filtered version. You learned patience the hard and best way. Want to talk to your friend? You called their home phone and hoped for the best. Want to hear your favorite song? You waited for the radio to play it. Want to watch your favorite show? Better be on the couch at the exact time because there was no rewind. This sharpened your patience, focus, and delayed gratification, skills almost extinct now. You developed practical, hands-on skills. Kids in the 70s learned things by doing, not Googling. You fixed broken toys. You figured out how to cook basic meals. You changed light bulbs, repaired things around the house, maybe even learned a bit about cars from your dad or older siblings. You weren't helpless. You didn't wait for someone else to solve everything. That practical intelligence? Rare today. And powerful. You value privacy. Growing up without the internet meant you had a natural sense of personal boundaries. You didn't announce every mood or meal to the world. Your life felt yours. This made you more grounded, more emotionally stable, and less dependent on validation. You appreciate real life more than virtual life because you know the taste of real freedom, real adventure, real connection, real fun. The world felt bigger, and so did your imagination. So if you grew up in the 1970s, you're carrying traits the world desperately needs today. You're independent, resilient, grounded, creative, patient, and deeply connected to real life. You grew up in a decade that trained your mind, strengthened your character, and shaped you into someone rare. You're not just from another time. You're from a golden era that built golden people.